Jahara Baug Agra by Letitia Landon. It was the lovely twilight time when down our Agra's towers, and silent were her marble halls, and tranquil were her bowers. The crimson colors of a rose were melting on the air, and from the ivory minarets arose the evening prayer. The snowy herons to the roofs were flocking for the night, the columns and the cupolas were bathed in purple light, and the large lilies on the stream grew fairer in the hue, as they flung up each silver cup to catch the falling dew. Filled with the sweet good night of flowers that sigh themselves to sleep, along the quiet river side the shadowy gardens sweep, while fair and pale, like some young girl who pines with early love, the young moon seems as if she feared to take her place above. Is there no feasting in those halls? Why is that palace mute? The silvery cadences unheard of the young dancer's foot? What changed since that glad marriage eve, when with a dance and song Prince Dara led her cousin bride those lighted halls along? How changed since that imperial day, when at his father's hand the eldest bore to set down to share that father's high-born command, and the proud nobles of the court drew forth a glittering sword, in token all were at his will, and waited but his word. An old man sits upon the walls that guard the eastern side. 'Tis not to hear the wild wind wake the music of the tide, the rising of the evening star, the perfume from the boar, the last sweet singing of the doves, all pass unheeded now. The age's king sits on his tower, and strains his eyes afar, and asks of every passer by for tidings of a war. They come, he sees the scattered flight of Dara's broken bands. At last the fugitive himself, his son before him stands. The monarch hid his face and wept. He heard his firstborn say, "The crown you placed upon my brow this hour has passed away. My brother is my enemy, a traitor is my friend, and I must seek these ancient walls to shelter and defend." "Not so," the old king said. "My son, fly thou with spear and shield, for never walls could stand for those who stood not in the field." He wept before his father's face, then fled across the plain. The desolate and the fugitive, they never met again. Time has passed on, and Dara's doom is darkly drawing nigh. The vanquishing prince had only left to yield, despair, and die. The faithless friend, the conquering foe, have been around his path, and now a wild and desert home is all Prince Dara hath. The sands are bare, the wells are dry, and not a single tree extends its shade o'er him who had a royal canopy. There is not even safety found amid those burning sands. The exile has a home to seek in far and foreign lands. He lingers yet upon his way. Within his tents is death. He cannot fly till he has caught Nadira's latest breath. How can he bear to part with her, she who, since first his bride, in woe and want his comforter, has never left his side? He kissed the pale, unconscious cheek, he flung him at her feet, he gazed her fondly on those eyes he never more might meet. "'Tis well," he cried, "my latest friend is from my bosom flown. Go bear her to her father's tomb, while I go forth alone." The traitor is upon his way, the royal prey is found, and by noble hands and chains the monarch's son is bound. Garbed as a slave, they led him forth the public ways along, but on his noble brow is scorn, and on his lip a song. 'Tis midnight, but the midnight crime is darker than the night, and o'er long sleep with gloomy brow waits the morning light. The morning light is dyed for him with an accusing red, where bring to the usurper's feet his brother Dara's head.